Good afternoon. Welcome, everyone. My name is John Goldberg. I'm Dean of Harvard Law School. To the members of the class of 2026, congratulations! You've done it! By day's end, you will be Harvard Law School graduates. How cool is that? While this occasion marks an ending of sorts, it is also the start of something new, of lives and careers filled with interesting, challenging, valuable experiences that will change the world in ways big and small. And that is why, as graduation speakers have noted forever, we call this day commencement and not concludement. Graduates, this moment has been a long time coming. It has required hours of toil and the successful completion of an endless parade of projects, papers, and exams. As you've proven repeatedly, you are all wildly capable. And so, please pause for a moment and appreciate all the discipline, hard work, and good fortune that has brought you to this day. Along with our graduates, there are others among us who deserve recognition. For starters, please join me in thanking the many, many Harvard Law School staff who have been working for weeks and are working right now to make this event a grand success. They are essential to this institution and they deserve a huge hand. Thanks also to our amazing professors, instructors, and lecturers. I am tremendously proud of their devotion to our students and their commitment to the pursuit of knowledge. Finally, no one makes it on this stage by themselves. Behind each of our students stands a network of family, friends, and mentors, many of whom are here today. As we just heard one of our students say, quote, "It's not just me who's getting the degree. I think it's all of us. My whole family is graduating from Harvard today." Graduates, please give your supporters a big round of applause. In my remarks today, I will share a few facts about our students, then offer some reflections. We can start with our students earning graduate degrees. You have greatly enriched our classrooms, clinics, and journals, and you will contribute to Harvard's global presence from this day forward. I saw this firsthand just 2 weeks ago when I had the privilege of meeting in London with more than 100 members of the Harvard Law School Association of Europe. The LL.M class of 2026 consists of 187 students who have come to us from A, Argentina, to V, Vietnam. You have led student organizations, competed in international moot court competitions, contributed more than 1,000 hours in clinics and student practice organizations, and produced sophisticated writing on topics ranging from climate and trade to Shakespearean references in international arbitration. I am also pleased to recognize our S.J.D students, our doctoral candidates in law. Today we honor 7 doctoral graduates who have left their mark on our community and made important contributions to legal scholarship, writing on topics ranging from AI governance to insider opportunism. You will be sharing what you've learned with the next generation of students in teaching roles at law schools in Hawaii and New York, as well as Canada, Israel, and Korea. Last, and certainly not least, are our JDs. You are a stunningly accomplished and deeply engaged class. Collectively, you have provided 384,618 hours of pro bono service. You are part of a remarkable tradition of public service at our school and in our profession. You are also supremely talented students and scholars. Audience members, I encourage you to look through your programs, to see some of the many students who have been recognized for the extraordinary academic and service work they have undertaken while here at HLS. As we acknowledge all of our graduates, JDs, S.J.Ds, and LL.Ms, I'd like to give a special shout out to our international students and scholars. As I have said on this podium before, Harvard Law School would not be Harvard Law School without you. We are so grateful that you are here, and we will continue to work tirelessly to ensure that Harvard remains open to and welcoming of students and researchers from around the world. Before turning to my reflections, I think it is appropriate to acknowledge the larger context in which we come together. Our celebrations began early this morning, very early, and for some of you, I expect they will extend well into the evening, though I trust always in the spirit of the reasonably prudent person. Patrick, that's for you. Still, even as we celebrate, especially as we celebrate, let us appreciate all that we have and acknowledge the hardships that unfortunately afflict so many people in our country and around the world. Okay, this is my first commencement day address as Dean, not interim dean, but it is my third overall. I'm astonished by how quickly the time has passed. I know that many of our students feel the same way. JD graduates, you and I started this journey together. And let's face it, your 1L year and my 1D year was challenging as events around the world tested this community and many others. And I'm pretty sure it won't surprise anyone when I say, no matter what your perspective on national and global affairs, events have not conspired to make things easier in the 2 years that have followed. In the face of these challenges, you and your graduate student colleagues have responded brilliantly by building bridges across divides, by engaging with one another, and by finding within yourselves and each other the shared humanity that underlies our differences. I know you will be great lawyers because this is what great lawyers do. They listen carefully and openly and push each other to achieve outcomes that are good for the clients and, if all goes well, good for the wider world. Of course, there is a lot of conflict in law, which is why the courtroom remains a staple of TV and movie dramas. But most legal work, as you know, happens across bargaining tables and in conference calls, in helping clients obtain benefits, in drafting new policies and regulations, or in striking deals that foster innovation and new opportunities. Even litigation and politics are largely about negotiation and settlement. If there were ever a moment that needs you, Harvard-educated lawyers trained to solve problems within a framework of rules and procedures, this is it. The graduating class of 2026 is special for another reason. As you know, this year we celebrate the anniversary of a major historical event, one that marks the courageous efforts of a plucky underdog to win their independence. Yes, that's right, this July 13th to be exact, is the 25th anniversary of the world being introduced to one of Harvard Law School's most famous graduates, Miss Elle Woods from the movie Legally Blonde. Sure, Elle is fictional, Legally Blonde is dated, and its depiction of HLS is not exactly tethered to reality. Here's one illustration. In the movie, not only does Elle give the dean's commencement speech, she manages to complete it in under a minute. Ridiculous. All right. And yet, amidst its jokes, the film offers some lessons. Perhaps its main message is a bit of trite but true wisdom. Stay strong, believe in yourself, and take chances. Some of you may recall the scene when Elle is cold called on day one in civil procedure. She hasn't done the reading and is publicly humiliated when her imperious professor and a not-so-kind fellow student agree that she needs to leave the classroom and return only when prepared. By the way, family and friends, real HLS professors aren't that rough, and real Harvard Law students are much nicer and, of course, never unprepared. An experience like L's could be soul-crushing. Nevertheless, to borrow a phrase associated with another famous member of this community, she persisted. L. Woods sucked it up, dove in, and the rest is history. Well, made-up history anyway. Graduates, your talent, hard work, self-belief, and perseverance are characteristics that you all share, that have taken you to this day, and that will serve you well in the years ahead. Now, it turns out there is another important anniversary we are honoring this year. No head fakes this time. I am talking, of course, about the Declaration of Independence and this nation's founding. It is indeed America's semi-quincentennial. I apologize for that mouthful, but Harvard's governing statutes require deans to use at least one obscure Latinism in all public remarks. This is a moment to reflect with pride on the countless achievements of the people of this great nation, everything from scientific breakthroughs to economic innovation, to the expansion of civil rights, to the development of art forms such as the blues, jazz, country, and hip-hop. By many measures, the American experiment has exceeded beyond the wildest dreams of its founders. As a law professor, lawyer, and citizen who loves this country, I believe our most important achievement has been to piece together, slowly, painfully, and incompletely, a liberal democracy grounded in the rule of law. 250 years ago, John Adams, a Harvard graduate and a pretty good lawyer, said that the best government is, quote, contrived to secure an impartial and exact execution of the laws. Both the articulation of that ideal and our progress toward it deserve to be celebrated, as Adams put it, with, quote, pomp and parade. To be sure, the Declaration has grave flaws that were evident back in its day and are more glaring to us now. Its signatories were landowners, merchants, and professionals, and none were women or people of color. The document says next to nothing of the nearly 500,000 men and women then living in bondage. It mentions Native Americans, but only in the most regrettable terms. Nor can this particular institution distance itself from these ugly aspects of American history, as we were reminded recently by the publication of a database identifying more than 1,600 people who, between 1636 and 1865, were enslaved by persons with some connection to Harvard. So, to reiterate, I consider our nation's founding document to be both inspired and compromised. It sets out a compelling vision of a government of laws, not persons, one that respects the unalienable right of each of us to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and in many ways, we, the people, have advanced this vision. Yet the document itself and generations living under it have also fallen short, sometimes dreadfully so. The system we have built on the foundation crafted by our founders is also today facing serious challenges. Our political systems of checks and balances is being tested. Other institutions that have enabled this country to thrive and grow, including institutions of higher education such as this one, are being questioned and challenged. We are amidst a technological revolution that offers us previously unimagined powers, yet also threatens economic dislocation and heightened inequality, and the unwritten norms that hold us together. Basic values such as integrity, respect, decency, and grace seem to be fraying. In this context, a brief remembrance of 2 centuries of what was going on 2 centuries ago might help. In July of 1776, the outlook was not great. Our agrarian economy was debt-ridden. Basic supplies were hard to come by. The Continental Congress had just made the astonishingly risky gamble that a ragtag fighting force would win a war against the world's greatest military power, and it was hardly obvious that a people deeply divided among themselves could remain united. In short, From the outset, and of course at other times since, this country, like all nations, has faced periods of instability and uncertainty, sometimes great instability and uncertainty. I mention these things not to spoil this lovely day, or until recently lovely day, but to reassure and perhaps even inspire you. In 1776 and in many times since, in moments of crisis, this nation has overcome intense partisan disagreement, beat the odds, and made progress in ways that has confounded doubters and skeptics, often, by the way, with the help of Harvard graduates. I firmly believe that you, the class of 2026, will help this country and our world move closer to our ideals. Graduates, each of you leaves this place equipped with an impeccable credential and an extraordinary training that will enable you to make a difference for individuals, businesses, nonprofits, communities, governments, an array of causes, whether on the local, national, or international stage. It is now on you, as it is on everyone here today, to find ways to work together to better realize our nation's and this law school's founding commitment, the pursuit of truth in the service of liberty, equality, and justice. There is much to be done. We must work individually and collectively to reconstitute and reinforce the institution and norms that are vital to the maintenance of the rule of law and to a free, democratic, and fair society. Like all great undertakings, this is one that will take time and will consist both of small steps forwards and a few steps back. But I know we are up to the task. For all the complexities of the occasion, July 4th, 2026 will be, as it should be, a day of celebration, of picnics and fireworks. Here at Harvard, May 28th, 2026 is unequivocally a day for us to celebrate with, as John Adams said, pomp and parade. Graduates, you are about to join a long line of Harvard lawyers and leaders. I know that you will add to their legacies in ways that we cannot yet imagine. To the Harvard class of 2026, congratulations and Godspeed.
Good afternoon. I'm Nancy Pinn, Assistant Dean for the Graduate Program and International Legal Studies. Please welcome Gabriella Bloom, Vice Dean for the Graduate Program and International Legal Studies, who will join Dean Goldberg in the awarding of degrees to the graduate program, beginning with the Doctor of Juridical Science degrees. Kabir Ashok Nina Dugal. Rabia Ekhbaria. Marusia Levesque. Leor Ofer. Guy Rubenstein. This concludes the Doctor of Juridical Science degrees. Will sections 2 and 3 please report to Hauser for lineup? We will now begin the awarding of diplomas to graduates with the Masters of Laws degree. Mohammad Ibrahim Abdul Khalik. Mohammed Abdi. Zainab Abdullahi Ayariga. Anis Mohammed Afla. Valerie Edje Mensa. Celia Aissou. Alexandre Christian Paul Alexei. Abdullah Badr Al-Omar. Reynad Al-Karni. Temidropilo James Alufa. Dylan Jesse Andrian. Nicolaus Antonio. Egle Arena. Bera Asawachinda. Silvana Belen Astigaraga Aldama. Young Il Bai. Michelle Barum Diegus. Felix Constantine Bassier. Shayan Batarcharya. Miljana Bigovic. Chantal Bittner. Yelena Bogodukova. Zoe Victoria Brown. Mark David Brown. Margarita Bruti Liberati. Caio Cesar Bueno Shineman. Thais Calixto de Abreu. Dario Carnaza. Luke Verrill Cass. Shreya Chakravarti. Teresa Champ. Pushkar Reddy. Wen-Yi Chang. Anviti Chaturvedi. Vinayak Chawla. Grace Kifui Chege. David Chiang. Isabella Clem. Marcel Cohen-Shechoach. Jules Félix Coulot. Maria Eduarda Lessa. Emma Catherine Dax. Maitav Dagan. Augusto Danan Alva. Diana Gabriela de los Santos Baez. Marcos Tomás Diaz Tarago. Jason Ryan DiNapoli. Finn Matthew Doherty. Timothy Selikem Donker. Simon Eberle. Yvonne Ilomogo. Hannah Fiala. Paul Fink. Claudia Fontanet Rodriguez. Danielle Joanna Castillo Gaite. Maya Goldfein Chamoy. Daniel Gosh. Elizabeth Green. Chanru Guo. Hania Chana. Freja Haas. Till Stefan Hackler. Zara Hagi. Sophia Halberstadt. Takashi Harada. Faizia Harun Kazi. Benjamin James Hines. Priscilla Hersheimer. Manu Honkanen. Isobel Houlihan. David Shiwei Shu. Yue Lin Chao. Jens Christian Holven. Ana Maria Yavor. Yun Kyung Jeong. Juan Jorge. Leon Marcel Arnokaul. Navidita Kalyana Raman. Mallory Kanan. Eugene Kang. Namasha Ratnayaka. Aprajita Kaul. Sahar Khan. Brian Kibet Kibruto. Rami Paul Kiwan. Axel Kolstad. Ian Scott Koenigsdorfer. Kai Koltis. Noam Kozlov. Nana Krashvili. Aijan Kormanaleva. Anastasios Lafaras. Vinka Demiandra Ayulalasati. Apostolos Latsonas. Jesse Bergman Lehman. Sukyung Lee. Noel Leo. Yumo Lee. Liang Yuzhang. Hoan Liao. Chin Ma. Megan Malone. Laise Diana Marcelino Diaz. Leonie Marti. Cristobal Martinez Varela. Hiromi Matsuo. Joyce Leon Mao. Ben Mays. Ronan McGurran. Michael Francis McCardle. Chioma Laura Menankiti. Sergio Alejandro Mendoza Carrillo. Robin Misterek. Macarena Montes Francischini. O Morag. Tupalishi Mulwafu. Tea Mustach. Mantan Nagpal. Iñaki Navarrete Arecha Vileta. Ong Jun Chung. Henrik Nolte. Stefan Novakovic. Borja Ochagavia Donoso. Cara O'Donnell. Susan Chioma Ome. Cher Omanov. Takahiro Onishi. Isabel Ortiz Nucus. Eva Guang. John Sarp Ozjan. Andres Peña Loyo. Angelica Maria Perdomo Luna. Jose Arturo Perez Diaz. Fabian Politzer. An Kwak. Ashling Catherine Railton. Maria Alejandra Ramirez Arias. Ashwini Ravindran. Hania Rehman. Katarina Reich. Camila Riva Palacio Rabadan. Utkirbek Rivojidanov. Fee Robinson. Santiago Rodriguez Sciantore. Juan Pablo Rodriguez Maza. Felix Antugimine Saka. Saakian. Il Sadiku. A Samuel Saidi Rabah. Nariman Salem Hame. Jaime Sanchez Salinas. Marina Paulina Santa Cruz Salazar. Cynthia Maria Santos Becerra. Shivani Sate. Roxanne Aurelia Schneider. Gudrun Solveig Sigrida Dorter. Kezia Ayuputri Simon. Yu So. Anushka Soni. Joel Soon. Mitchell Sprague. Christy Suen. Albertus Jonathan Sucardi. Chinghan Anfield Tam. Stephanie Jaton. Carlos Troncoso Durando. George Tyler. Anikan Emmanuel Udo Ocon. Lisa van den Einde. Vincent Vermeulen. Mar Villora Valero. Marco Vita. Maria Vittoria Valtarelli Legini de Andrade. Yi Min Wang. Sophia Wilson Kudu. Patrick Vittum. David Wang. Omid Elliot Yagane. Takahito Yoneda. Miroslav Lazarov Yonov. Hyunjae Yu. Kazuki Yoshi. Paulina Centeno Morfin. Enrique Zevallos. Shasha Zhou. Ethan Zhou. This concludes the Master of Laws degrees. Please welcome Dean of Students and Associate Dean for Community Engagement, Equity, and Belonging, Monica E. Monroe, who will join Dean Goldberg for the awarding of diplomas to graduates receiving Juris Doctor degrees, beginning with Chief Judge David Barron and graduates receiving a joint degree with the Harvard Kennedy School.
Good afternoon. I'm Professor David Barron, and we'll now award a Juris Doctor diploma to the graduate receiving a joint degree with the Harvard Kennedy School. Amy Lynn Eisenstein. This concludes the joint degrees with the Harvard Kennedy School. Please welcome Deputy Dean and Professor Glenn Cohen for the awarding of Juris Doctor diplomas to graduates receiving a joint degree with the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health.
Hello, everybody. I'm Professor Glenn Cohen. We're now going to award the Juris Doctor diplomas to graduates receiving a joint degree with the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health. What I'd like to say is these are students who are not only there to litigate, but also to heal the world, and we're proud of them for doing both. All right, and I think I need, thank you so much, Ben. Our first one is Ben Howard. Big round of applause. And we've got Reo Hayashizaki. Huge round of applause. Short but sweet. This concludes the joint degrees of the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health. And I'm now pleased to welcome my colleague, Professor Guhan Subramanian, for the awarding of the Juris Doctor diplomas to graduates receiving a joint degree with Harvard Business School.
Good afternoon. I have the great honor of being the faculty chair for the S.J.D. MBA program. We have 6 graduates here today. Alice Radker is not with us. She is graduating, but she gave birth to her beautiful son on Sunday. She is taking care of him. We will now award the Juris Doctorate diplomas to graduates receiving a joint degree with Harvard Business School. Rachel Louise Anderson. Rana Chandra Bansal. Christopher Aibu Nade Egi. Charles Solomon Krumholtz. Henry Liu. This concludes the awarding of the Juris Doctorate diplomas to joint degree graduates. Please welcome Professor Ruth Okejeji for the awarding of the Juris Doctorate diplomas to Section 1.
Good afternoon. I'm Professor Ruth Okejeji. We will now award Juris Doctor diplomas to the inimitable Section 1. Arash Abbas. Akosia Frema Apong Adubofo. Andrea Allegre. Luke Alexander Anselmi. Wyatt Apple. Mirella Lily Baker. Devin Bombesi. Maxwell Augustin Bradley. Nathan Al-J. Brown. Senna Merem Jabuji. Lena Cho. Tianyu Chu. Karen Clark. Alexandra Ann Colby. Javier Armando Cuadras Castillo. Justin Curtis. Monica Day. Kirsten Danielle Flynn. Alexa Foman. Jenna Molly Freitas. Aliyah Kamara George. Leor Ginsberg. Luisa Maria Guedes Graydon. Joshua Grambo. John Michael Hurl. Sarah Jane Holston. Asha Jane. Gurtaran Kao Johal. Won Gi Jung. Anjali Kata. Ryan Keene. Noah Alexander Kess. Robert Kim. Julia Kaufman. Lucas Joseph Leiter. Richard Lynn. Jacob Linsfesty. Felipe Lobo Keurig. Sonia Mahajan. Sydney Peyton Malin. Amber Imani Massey. Justin Patrick Schwartz McMahon. Jane Merrick. Andrew Lendenheim Morera. Rohit Sheth Nair. Abi Nathan. Jacob Beno Newitz. Maria Isabel Nolan. Coy Ozius. Hudson Riggs Patterson. John Anthony Perelis Jr. Sean Michael Pigeon. Jorge Plaza. John Allen Pompey. Garrison James Reen. Jenna Elham Rafai. Rimsha Hassan Saeed. Lauren Renee Sanchez. Madeline Kate Scannell. Sam Cipro. Emily Spector. Zachary Richard Springer. Christina Stromer. Daphne Tang. Ruth Melez Teklu. Natalia Kapani Tendik. Ethan Tai. Connor Bernard Thompson. Mitchell Jacob Tuckerman. Cindy Wang. Spencer Harris Weiser. Emma Westhoff. Jeffrey Wilson. Peter Whirl. Joyce Hylin Yun. This concludes the extraordinary Section 1. Will Sections 3 and 4 proceed to Hauser for their lineup?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jim Greiner, and I have the distinct pleasure to announce the degrees from the J.D. degrees from Section 2. As I say every year, simply the best. Justin Abbey. Kadir Ahmad. Dania Alkarari. Christine Anabo. Aviv Azayag. Michael Astordian. Isabella Catherine Auerbach. Toiba Ayun Kunbi. It's a tough act to follow. Otto Strasfeld Berenberg. Emily Plutsky Baskin. Sophia Sky Bottinelli. Jeffrey William Backers Braun. Shravya Chari. Selena Chu. Lev Friendly Cohen. Justin Lee Curl. Ethan Alexander Daniel. Christian Alexander James Dawkins. Cowbell. Giovanna de Oliveira. John Deschler. Sonny Drescher. Nefertari El Sheikh. Isaac Alexander Epstein. Mika Anna Foreman Yosefov. Andrew Garcia. Louis Elijah Goldsmith. Henry Strite Green. And the excellent name, Lila McClear Griner. Helena G. Hirsch. Lauren Elizabeth Howell. Mana K. Javadi. Levi Jones. Junwoo Kong. Cora Wakus Kim. Hiyu Millie Kim. Kevin Kim. I got it. Tony Kim. Aaron Kleiner. Divya Rose Kumar. Margaret Colleen Lanthier. David Leetzen.
Thank you.
Gerald Adam Long. Anna Catherine Manchester. Livia Mann. Nicholas Gareth Moritz. Chamberlain Lietta Mathis. Elizabeth Jane Messman. Cleo Tuto Amira Mimano. Michael C. Morris. James Aloysius Morrison. Lauren Amanda O'Connell. Jacqueline Renee O'Neill. Sean O'Neill. Nicole Marie Overton. Sean Srivastava Pandiri. Benjamin Rioja Paris. Michael Pusich. Rebecca Z. Chu. Andrew Reed. Aaron Bailey Reed. Isabel Ross Riggs. Nikita Salgame. Sarasota Eastis Cyrulnik. Veronica Silva. Niveda Kelly Sanapan. Sadie Statman. Zach Steigerwald Schnall. Max Sterling. Marissa Susan Thomas. Jake David Tibbetts.
I got it.
Leanna Chesung Tilate. Derek Wang. Kevin Williams. Keely Page Wilson. Mason Woods. Nicholas Wu. Mary Carson Yarborough. This concludes the degrees for Section 2.
Good afternoon. I am Professor Molly Brady, and it is my distinct honor to introduce this one-of-a-kind Section 3. Stephen Adams. Henry Sullivan Atkins. Mason Barnard. Savannah J. Barnwell. Rafael Antonio Bichara. Morgan Lynn Breen. Natalia Brown. Gisela Carpio. Daibik Chakraborty. Emily Chen. Sabrina Therese Kanza. Youngpeng Tsui. Anthony Daoud. Cameron Demlo Dunn. Morgan Alexis Edmonds. Gabrielle Elise Emke. Andrew Ferry. Brooke Elise Frank. David Frisch. Frank Michael Fusco. Trey Allen Greeno. Jonathan Michael Griffin. Alexandra Ann Gudaitis. Russell Grant Girton. Mikhail Ben Guzman. Diana Hong. Jordan Hochstetten. Jasmine Naori Hippolyte. Elena Ivanova. Daniel Kim. Zion Kim. Youngjun Andrew Kim. Benjamin Keister. Parth Kotak. Katie Kraska. George M. Lemur. Emma Claypool Lester. Miriam Lee. Logan Malik. Catherine Mansfield. Tony McKilling. Manav Cherian Matthews. Catherine Ivy Myopoulos. Mahima Mangani. Kirsten Shaw Nettler. Supriya Mishra. John Neary. Uchenna Wodem. Zoe Anastasia Olbries. Shegun Amole. Olateju Oyelele. Derek Paulus. Lindsay Perlman. Benjamin Rabinowitz. Anindu Rentala. Catherine Rodriguez. Dennis Paul Rennell. Olivia Casey Schwartz. Kaveri Sengupta. Olivia Whitney Siemens. Fatma Solomon. Gabrielle Christine Spurlock. Carlos Stinson Moss. Madeline Claire Stuzin. Thank you. Nathaniel Swift. Julia Elizabeth Tijan. Ezra Toback. Akaswa Chum Antwi. Divya Vatsa. Aviva Junyi Wang. Isabel Sarah Wolfson Zelig. Justin Shu. Lila Marie Zarella. Andrew Zhang. This concludes section 3. Will sections 5 and 6 proceed to Hauser for lineup? Please welcome back Deputy Dean and Professor Glenn Cohen for the awarding of Juris Doctor diplomas to section 4.
Hello, everybody. I know this is the time when you're getting a little comfortable, but you gotta pump up the hype for this section. This is section 4. Cameron Adkins. Jose Marcos Andrade Urida. Caroline Arnold. Kia Zadbagak. Natalie Beauchamp. Thomas Borghese. Franz Broughton Smith. Erica Sarah Buckingham. Lucia Carvajal. Yarenis Cruz. Sumaya Dagestani. Jesse Davis. Aha Noor. John Douglas. Yijuan Du. Beryl McCann Emmerich. Rodrigo Estrada. Joy Fan. Jackson Faulkner. Hannah Kate Feldman Frater. Alex Friedman. John Benjamin Howard Gant. Valerie Glazer Hamadi. Meredith Jill Goodesblatt. Fabrice Guiosine. Jacob Matthew Hale. Kelsey Hahn. Santiago Jose Hedrioza. Annabelle Diana Hutchinson. Alyssa Kimberly Ince. Kaylin Jacobs. Benjamin Jacob Kane. Junhoo Kim. Abigail Rose Kleiman. Noah Marcus Kopp. James Kwong. Aditya Kumar. Mason Rivers Laney. Bryn Haley Lawson. Griffin Lassell. Haley Levin. Shani Markovitz Kay. Bennett Matson. Charlotte Walton McCarthy. Valerie McCarthy. Sarah Maya Murnia. Eden Sarah Miller. Nicholas Michael Nelson. Ehime Jaquana Owe. Paniz Nani Oliai. Rupa Palanki. Jenny Pidge. Chandler Aiken. Joshua Eupheme Rotenberg. Julia Italia Sackman. Rafael Santamaria. Luke James Schaefer. Priya Sethi. Jay Shaw. Mira Shoaib. Abigail Lynn Simon. Amelia Gray Steinbach. Benjamin Sutter. Chloe Hannah Sussman. Quincy Ryan Titchener. Sierra Tisdale Vacos. Hadassah Trow. Bradford Vance. Mathuri Suroja Venkateshwar. Alan Elizabeth Wallace. Nate Robert Webster. Anna Jessica Worthington. Derek Wu. Brett Daniel Zaslowski. Jenny Zhang. And last but not least, Erica Zlotkin. Woo! Well, that concludes Section 4. Please welcome Professor Alexandra Natapov for the awarding of Juris Diplomas to Section 5.
That's not Section 5. May I? Good afternoon. My name is Professor Alexandra Natapov. I now have the profound pleasure and honor of awarding the Juris Doctor Diplomas to Section 5. Samar Ruhi Ahmed. Thomas Alvarez. Mariana Asland. Matthew Bailey. McClure Williams Salavara Brower. Kiami Adina Brown Rivers. Georgia Karras. Christopher Robert Carey. Rohan Chakravarti. Lucille Collins. Nina Beatriz Cubero. Carolyn Elizabeth Daly. Nina Dang. Elviana Esther de Jesus. Isabella Marie D. Sal DiFrancesco. Miriam Engel. John Robert Erskine. Matthew Fidel. Jared Harrison Gaff. Layla Gallick. Sophia Elizabeth Galitsky. Eli Gavish. Kedeki Gajar. Yasna Hagdust. Sharif Hamidi. Patrick Healy. Jonathan Hirschfeld. Brandon Robert Jacobs. Nautica Lachey Jacobs. Yi Jin Jung. Ethan James Johnstone. Elam David Jones. Hunil Kim. Emily Madison Cohn. Eli Kramer. Monica Lang. Lev Ian Laskew. Alexa Levy.
Thank you, Professor Nadabal, for everything.
Gabrielle Jane Lewis. Andrew Lee.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you so much.
Angela Lee. Ricardo Madrid Arango. Alejandra Maldonado. Delia McDevitt.
Thank you, Professor.
Cordy McJunkins.
Thank you so much.
Lydia McVeigh. Jacob Meat. Abigail Moats. Sam Morimoto. Connor Mosafor Nixon. Madison Jane Onsiger. Kayla Daniel Perez. Pranathi Parikh. Riley Foff. Emily Reamer. Lauren Lowe Rose. Jeremy Rotman. Charlotte Sack. Asa Scott. Samuel Ross Siegel. Yesha Shah. Gurbir Singh. Emily Natasha Sklar. Wesley Stryker. Tyler James Tate.
Being the best.
Maria Farangis Tahamptony. Samuel Sebastian Timmons. Connor Finnegan Vasu. Tharush Verma. Swathi Viperla. Bianca Capri Williams Alonso. Noah Wintman. Sylvia Marie Wu. Nora Zamraki. Corey Patrick Zayance. Michael Zhao.
Pause for a brief announcement after this.
Anya Maria Zolniak. This concludes Section 5. Will Sections 7 and 8 proceed to Hauser for lineup?
We ask that everybody please return to your seats. We ask especially to please clear the aisle between the front row and the white fence, and please clear all aisles for our shared safety. Thank you.
Please welcome Professor John Hanson for the awarding of Juris Doctor diplomas to Section 6.
Hello, I'm John Hanson. I did not bring the rain. I did bring Section 6, or the Tort Authority. My privilege to introduce them. Sophia Ahmed. Armin Hakimzadeh Ameri. Fletcher Thomas Bartlett. Emily Heather Berry. Estras David Camacho Molinares. Joseph Richard Kaplis. Madeline Cargill. Christian Lee Carson. Clara Elena Chu. Zachary J. Curtis. Joao Paulo de Melo Barreto. Regina Denigris. Natalie Dunn DeCoste. Moshe Dembitzer. Fiona Doyle. Tabitha Escalante. Agatha Finnick. Daniel Fenley. Olivia Gibbs. Alexander Glickman. JJ Gobbin. Julia Grieve. Jackson Martin Clifford Haney. Emily Jean Marie Hansen. Catherine Hong Ho. Benjamin Wendell Holbrook. Jasper Johnston. James Joyce. Abigail Judge. Kara Calawan. Sophia Contos. Drew Lane. Claire Lee. Sophie Lee. Kevin Liao. Joe Lieberman. Regina Nicole Laughlin. Strong Ma. Mickey McMahon. Alexandra Martin Medina. Jorge Stephen Mejia. Hunter Phoenix Mellon. Isabel Melton. Gabriela Alexandra Mestre. Lexi Modeus. Kieran Murphy. Hugh Lillis O'Neill. You could have called this. Sahil Patel. Tia LaFaith Patrick. Luke Michael Pittman. Alina Chiao. Samuel John Quillen. Elizabeth Quinn. Keshav Aditya Raghavan. Caroline Saba. Kavya Sani. Julia Saltzman. Karina Satya. Gregory Terrell Seabrooks. Matthias Shepard. Alexander Shura. Hashwinder Singh. Ria Anya Singh. Rebecca Branch Smallbach. Kaylee Grace Sturgeon. Lucy Sun. Sarah Alexandra Takatatsu. David Taylor. Raja Ukandwa. Muhammad Usman. Joshua Walton. Leanna Wong. Michael Wong. Peter Thomas Watson. Katrina Sopert Weinert. Rosemary Victoria Yen. And not at all least, Caroline Marie Zupan.
Stop for a brief announcement.
Should I say that? We will now pause for a brief announcement.
Good afternoon. I'm Todd Rakoff. I'm going to introduce you to the members of the glorious Section 7. Which is definitely the section worth waiting for. All right. Adobia Ado Asham. Anna Louisa Albuquerque. Neha Aluwalia. Spencer Tash Andrews. Hillary Aristotle. Aaron London Baum. Bailey Lene Bogle. Sarah Shiloh Boxer. Carolyn Washburn Casey. Will Henry Cassou. Alejandro Castro. Neil Chopra. Austin Grace Dellinger. Taylor Rose Diggs. Adam Druckman. Emily Faith Eagleton. Anjuli Fink. Shira Fisher. Kelsey Elizabeth Flower. Ryan Alexander Front. Christina Wan Gue. Richard Amadei German. Jennifer Sarah Glazier. Good man. Alexander Goldberg. Essen Gemushtikin. Micah Hirschkind. Crystal Lampa Hinola. Jude Hogue. Rahul Jararaman. Arthi Cannon. Serena Castle. Benjamin Kaufman. Owen Keenan. Rachel Elizabeth Love Kennedy. Aaliyah Koruju. Dina Kuta. Josiah Markel Laney. Aaron Thomas Lay. Joshua Lilly. James Michael Limbaugh. Rotim Latinsky. Edith Hurwitz-Lochner. Claire Frances Lonergan. Kitty Yiying Lua. Julia Elise Lynch. Owen Felix Lyons. Calvin Manahan. Grace Renana Miller. True Merritt. Samuel Kemper Meyerson and Company. Levy Monahan. Nicholas Adam Moscoso. Omar Motala. Kelsey Myers. Devanshi Nishar. Joseph Ort. Declan Scott Pollard. Ria Rana. Alexandra Reese. Mira Rajagopalan Suntaban. Abigail Sassoon Dandera and Company. Christine Shao. Carson Shoemaker. Alexander Victor Siegel. Meghna Sinha. Shayna Solomon. Catherine Airless San-Hilaire. Carolyn Stainfield. Ryan Stam. Omar Saeed Tariq. Mark, Thomas, and friends. Raquel Marie Valondi. Jeduta Verhan Watson. Jennifer West. Ajayan Williamson. Isabel Yin. Hyungsun Yoon. Dina Zagara. I guess that's the end of section 7.
I'll now introduce Professor Whiting to talk about section 8.
Good afternoon. It's my enormous pleasure to read the names for the JD diplomas for the most amazing section. Give it up, please, for section 8. Harris Alvey. Emily Areza. Olivia Jane Blackman. Ariel Boone. Madeline Bryce. John Murphy Burden. Randall Carter. Zane Harris Daniels. Nathaniel Alexander Douglas. Max Esplin. Katerina Finset. Joshua Freitag. Stephen Guth. Naomi Christine Hampton. Nicholas John Hand. Henry Brankman Harris. Tad Haugen. Lin Mei Ho. Bianca Jan Shia. Cassidy Vieira Hunt. Devin James. Hannah Kapashi. Summer Fatima Khan. Yunha Kim. Luciano Kwan. Alexander Tayuan
Liang. Annabelle Musashi. Eleanor Keene Maddox. Eliana Louise Ya McFarland. Tessa Marie Muller. Luke Nassif. Sarah Lynn Nicholson. Jen Ju-young Park. Ted Parker. Evelyn Q. Alex Rue. Shanur Fatima Saeed. Salahuddin Najib Saturi. Ana Suezo Rivera. Harry Schiller. Juvaria Shahid. Dean Jagger Sherman. William Curran Skinner. Joshua Richard Gregory Smith. Austin Tarullo. Jonathan Burnell Tucker. Ada Sadia Tarun. Jeremiah Vrogop. Bryce Christopher Wright. Yun Michelle Yo. Mordecai Bakar Zadik. And finally, Jonathan Jiangshu. Believe it or not, this concludes the awarding of the diplomas. Please welcome back to the podium Associate Dean and Dean of Students, Monica E. Monroe, for concluding remarks.
As our celebration for the class of 2026 draws to a close, I'd like to take this last opportunity to say on behalf of the faculty, staff, and administration of Harvard Law School, congratulations to the graduates and to the family, friends, and other supporters who have helped them arrive at this moment. This concludes our ceremony. Thank you.